Hello, how dare you embarrass the Professor Chukuma Charles Soludo, the executive governor of Anambra State? I'm going to show you where a man tried to embarrass our governor. And it's a reaction video from the channel's stuff that during the investment summit hosted a week or 2 weeks ago in Oka. So you will see why it's very, very important to do the first thing first. But this man cleverly is actually saying something, and we are going to see, because some people are saying, how dare you embarrass our prof? I want you to listen and see if this gentleman did embarrass the governor. I am still Kodili-nye, the son of wonderful. Remember that you need to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Stay tuned.
Okay, thanks very much. We've been asked to go straight to the point. Everything we've discussed today culminates in being able to attract investment into Anambra State. And without adequate power supply, that would be absolutely impossible. And one of the things, like I mentioned earlier, that we did as a state tasked by Mr. Governor is to develop the necessary framework, both institutional and regulatory framework. And to do that, we conducted what we called an integrated resource plan, conducted by the United States Agency for International Development, or funded by the United States Agency for International Development, in which it was identified that piped natural gas will be the primary fuel for the generation of electricity in Anambra State. So with that as a backdrop, I'd like to pose the first question to Mr. Anthony Chukwueke. SIPCO, your company is the foremost oil exploration and production company in Anambra State. As you're well aware, Anambra Basin has over 10 trillion cubic feet of proven gas reserves. So the question to you is, what would organizations like yourself, like SIPCO, consider in increasing investment in the development of natural gas assets in Anambra State to enable us to meet our requirements for energy sufficiency?
Thank you very much. Reflecting on what you have asked, you have to consider that everything I tell you is from my heart, because I'm from Imo State, but my heart is also in Anambra State because we married from here. My daughter is married to a young man from Uri. So I have a big interest in making sure that Anambra grows. The philosophy that and the vision that Mr. Governor have expressed is one which I support. And we have worked together in government before, so I know when he says he is serious about it. So what I'm going to tell you is serious. And if we want to do it, make it work, it can work. Gas as a business of its own is yet to mature. You cannot produce gas on its own commercial.
Can you get the microphone closer to you? Yes.
So, what I repeat myself, gas as a business in Nigeria is yet to mature. You cannot develop it without liquids. Liquids, I mean natural gas liquids, condensates, and LPGs must be with it. If it's not with it, then Nigeria is not yet in a position to develop it. So a lot of the resources in Anambra State are dry. They come from very old rocks. We call them Cretaceous rocks. And so all the liquids have escaped and the gas is dry. So you can have a lot of these reserves, but to produce it commercially is nearly impossible the way Nigeria is now. So Anambra, and particularly the states of the southeast, have to get the gas that is being produced today. Incidentally, the Niger Delta also gets to Anambra, but in a small way. So there are two things which we must do. And as Tony Chukwueke and as SIPCO, and following the vision of Mr. Governor, I'm prepared to do what it takes. First, it is to get the gas which is being produced today. We produce quite a bit in Anambra State, but it is not sufficient. Before you produce gas is a long-term business. You commit it to people who will lift it. People don't just jump in and take that gas because it's committed. So you need to make an investment to put additional gas in place. So you don't have to kill yourself because the gas is there. What we have to do is to get the assets. Anambra has small assets, but Anambra has very bright people. You see, I've seen Cosmos Maduka, is my friend. We have talked. I saw Chief Emeka, we are colleagues, we have talked. The assets which are being divested today by the oil companies is a good opportunity for Anambra. And with our governor, we have the reach to be able to get them. So as a group, we have to constitute ourselves in such a way as to be able to get one or two of those assets to support Anambra development. There are ways that gas can come. If even you get the asset, the block itself offshore, you trade the product. You say, give me here and take here. It happens. So what is important is to have access to commercially developable gas. And we can work it as a group. But for anything to happen in Anambra and for SIPCO, we need, I think the governor himself mentioned it, that he's working through to make sure that investors are happy to put their money in Anambra. SIPCO is already here, but we face a lot of challenges. Security, number one. People get afraid. When I was coming to Anambra this morning, they had to do all kinds of security checks, security that. And I said, but I'm a son of this place. Why? Security, key. And of course,
immediately he talked about security. The government media, because this is a joint telecast with ABS and channel television, they have to cut him off because the government panicked because he knows that he has not done that much in security. And this guy, their company is already in Anambra State, and he actually cleverly talked about that he's part of Anambra, that his mind is also, so that they will not say he come to sabotage the government. And that's exactly what happened. I immediately talk about security. The government media, the governor, everybody were panicked. There was uneasy stuff. And some of them, they have to do something immediately. They were listening. They were glad when he was talking about other things. But immediately, because that's the Governor Kodili-nye's weakness. Let's just listen again when he talked about security. I would have loved if we would have seen the picture of the governor itself.
We can work it as a group. But for anything to happen in Anambra and for SIPCO, we need, I think the governor himself mentioned it, that he's working through to make sure that investors are happy to put their money in Anambra.
Did you see the governor?
ZIPCO is already here, but we face a lot of challenges. Security, number one. People get afraid. When I was coming to Anambra this morning, they had to do all kinds of security checks, security that. And I said, but I'm a son of this place. Why? Security, key. And of
Immediately that man said that thing, he was cut off immediately. Because it was an embarrassment. You know, that's why it's always good for you to actually, check what is going on the ground. Don't always rely on your litany of aids, because they can easily deceive you and tell you that everything is working fine. You know, a lot of people in Anambra has been crying onto Governor Kodili-nye that their number one problem after road infrastructure, especially the number one real problem, is security. Because there are a lot of hooligans, there are a lot of people that have vowed that the people cannot sleep. But the government keep on saying that is doing marvelously well in security. But it was an opposite. So at a point, things was getting out of hand. And he never imagined why is it that most of those mega ceremonies are not being done in the state anymore. Why is it that people are afraid to go out in the night? You know, you can admit that what he met was worse, that he has all actually cooled down some of these things. But the real thing is that he has not really offered confidence in the area of security to the people living in Anambra State. That market woman, is he secure around 7 o'clock in Anambra State? That market woman, is he secure to open his business on Mondays? Because what he failed to realize is that those people that are really enforcing all those sit at home, the Ebehaji, that thing they are using to enforce it, after Monday, what happened next? Ngabu ha na-agabu ndị mmadụ, ibu ndị mmadụ ebe dị iche iche na Anambra State. Ọ na gọvanọ amaro no the same people na-eme that thing. Maka na ha ga-alarụzi ụla after Monday. Ha ga-eje ịchụ nta ego. And ịchụ nta ego bụ ibu ndị mmadụ. So if the governor failed to stop that Monday stuff, he would fail. Because why he will fail is that there will not be security in the state, because there's no way you have actually surrendered Monday to people that are not in government. So, not that he don't have the ability to do that, but the fact is that he has not sit down and tell himself the truth that I am the governor and I have the whole resources of the state. I have the people that I'm going to deal with this thing holistically. Because those people are not many. There are just few of them. So even if they overrun the police, because the police structure is not good in Nigeria, because the police is not meant to succeed in Nigeria, they are just there for police sake. But the real police are the people in the land, those vigilantes, the villagers, the men and women in the street. They are the real police. So once the government give them the confidence, offer them the resources to secure everywhere, the whole villages are secure. Are you telling me that if you put 300 vigilantes, that you are going to pay them, you are going to give them insurance, give them whatever they want? Are you telling me that in that village, those masqueraders will be able to move freely? They can't. The governor knows. So even if you just invest the money for 1 year, you will see the state will actually be smiling, and investors will now have freedom to move around. People will move around, and you know, Anambra people, they are very wealthy people. They can actually help you turn around the state. the investors will flood into the state. You see, the man in question, his name is Anthony Chukwueke, the chief executive or managing director of Seco. It's an oil company in the state. He knows what they are facing already in the area they are doing their business in Obaru. He knows. That's why he's saying that this is what the investors want him to do. The governor in his speech wanted to arrest the whole thing as if he's on top of the game. But the reality on the ground is that he's not on top of the game. He has failed woefully on that area. So it's only good for him to raise hand and said, this I have not done properly. I'm going to do these things. It will not take him 2-3 months to deal with these things if he wanted to. But now, some people were saying, how dare you embarrass our prof? But the reality is this. The prof, if you fail to do what you're supposed to do, if the government failed to secure lives and property, they are really embarrassing themselves and embarrassing the people. Because how come our people will be going to Asaba, moving freely in Asaba? Go to Lagos, moving freely. Go to many places, other places. Although those areas have their own security something, but not as worse like what they are feeling in our homeland. So, oge elugo, oge aige neba anya n'ihe. Oge elugo. So, I don't know why it's difficult for him. I don't know why. I know that he has over the years been sold a lie that things are working properly. I know now he's beginning to learn. He has to take security as he is doing the road inspection, the flyover inspection, and all those things. Checking all the roads and villages, towns. Give me the security, what is happening. So that's how you can deal with it. So I hope I've made a point. I just want you to go to the comment section. What do you think about this? Let us engage in real discussion so that our homeland will breathe again. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm still Kodili-nye, the son of wonderful. Do you think the man embarrassed the governor? That's the big question. Okay, see you and God bless you. Bye.